flickering neon sign of a last chance diner cast a sickly green glow across Sergeant Major Thorne's weary face. Rain lashed against the reinforced glass steel windows, mirroring the storm brewing inside him. Outside, the Kepler 186F colony world was a muddy brown blur, a stark contrast to the sterile chrome and grey of the Dauntless Asterisk, the TCDF frigate currently orbiting the planet. Thorne hadn't slept properly in 72 hours. The recon team's disappearance hadn't been a surprise, exactly. Kepler 186F was known as a thin spot, a region bordering unmapped space where the familiar constellations faded and the known laws of physics seemed to shift. But the abruptness of the calm silence, the complete lack of distress signals, that was the unsettling part. It screamed of something beyond a simple navigational error or a localized ambush. "Another cup, Sergeant Major," a voice crackled beside him. It was Petty Officer Ramirez, the diner's sole proprietor, and a former engineer with the Colonial Mining Corps. He looked like he hadn't aged a day in the 10 years Thorne had known him, a testament to the restorative properties of recycled protein paste and the crushing weight of boredom. "Please, Ramirez, and something to eat. Something that isn't recycled protein paste." Thorne managed a grim smile. Ramirez chuckled, a low rumble in his chest. "Always a discerning palate, Sergeant Major. Coming right up. Heard anything from command? Nothing concrete. Just the usual platitudes about maintaining vigilance and remaining optimistic. They're eager to sweep this under the rug as quickly as possible." Thorne stirred the lukewarm synth coffee. Too much political capital tied up in the Kepler Initiative. The Kepler Initiative, humanity's ambitious plan to colonize the star system, touted as the future of the species. The grand endeavor, riddled with hidden agendas and corporate greed. Thorne knew the initiative was a fragile facade, barely concealing the simmering tensions between the TCDF and the powerful consortium corporations who funded it. Food arrived, surprisingly good scrambled eggs and a slab of synthetic bacon. Thorne ate in silence, the sounds of the rain and the diner's humming machinery filling the void. Suddenly, the diner's emergency klaxon blared its shrill wail slicing through the ambient noise. The lights flickered violently, then stabilized. A synthesized voice announced, "All personnel to designated emergency stations. Unidentified energy signature detected. Threat level red." Thorne slammed his fork down. Damn it. He rose, adjusting his sidearm. Ramirez locked down the diner. He strode out of the diner and into the rain, joining the stream of TCDF personnel hurrying towards the transport bay. The storm had intensified, blurring the already dismal landscape. As he reached the bay, he saw Captain Eva Ristover, her face grim, barking orders to the boarding crew. "Sergeant Major Thorne." Ristover greeted him, her voice tight. "You're with me. We're investigating the energy signature. It's originating from the Blackwood Forest region." The Blackwood Forest was the colony's largest and most dangerous wilderness, a tangled expanse of alien flora and fauna that had resisted all attempts at terraforming. It was also the site of numerous unexplained disappearances, fueling local legends of ancient, malevolent entities. They boarded a heavily armored atmospheric shuttle, the Raven Asterisk. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Lieutenant Kenji Tanaka, the shuttle's pilot, ran diagnostics while Sergeant Mallory, the team's biologist, prepped her scanning equipment. "What are we dealing with, Captain?" Tanaka asked, his voice betraying a hint of nervousness. "Unknown," Ristover replied, her gaze fixed on the holographic display showing the energy signature's fluctuating waveform. "But it's powerful, and it's disrupting subspace communications." The Raven Asterisk plunged into the swirling rain and descended into the Blackwood Forest. The trees, towering in grotesque, clawed at the shuttle's hull. The air grew heavy and humid, thick with the scent of decay and unknown pollen. "I'm picking up unusual biosignatures," Mallory announced, her voice strained. "Ear complex. Unlike anything I've ever seen." Suddenly, the shuttle lurched violently. Tanaka wrestled with the controls. "We're bumped in some kind of field. It's interfering with the grav dampeners." Outside, through the reinforced viewport, Thorne saw them, shapes shifting and indistinct, coalescing from the swirling rain and the dense foliage. They were tall and slender, their bodies composed of what appeared to be living shadows. They moved with an unnatural grace, their forms flickering in and out of existence. "Those are not natural," Thorne muttered, his hand instinctively reaching for his pulse rifle. Ristover activated the shuttle's external floodlights. The shadows recoiled slightly, revealing glimpses of what lay beneath their spectral forms, intricate, geometric patterns etched onto a carapace-like structure. "They're communicating," Mallory said, her eyes live with a mixture of fear and fascination. "They're projecting images." A series of images flashed across the shuttle's interior displays. They were fragmented and chaotic, depicting scenes of a vast, technologically advanced civilization, a civilization that appeared to have mastered dimensions beyond human comprehension. Then the images shifted to scenes of destruction, of a catastrophic event that had seemingly annihilated the civilization. "They're warning us," Thorne realized, his voice barely above a whisper. "They've been through this before." The shadow beings began to converge on the shuttle, their forms solidifying, their intentions clear. They weren't attacking, but they were blocking their path. "They don't want us to go any further," Westover said, her voice tight. "They're protecting something." Just then the piercing, high-pitched tone filled the shuttle, followed by a sudden, disorienting wave of energy. The images on the displays vanished, and the shuttle was plunged into darkness. "Report," Westover barked. "Shields are down," Tanaka reported. "Subspace communications are completely offline. I can't get a lock on anything." "We're trapped," Thorne said grimly. Suddenly, a single image reappeared on the main display. It was a map of the Kepler system with a single location highlighted in crimson. It wasn't a planet or a station, but a point in empty space, far beyond the established borders of the Kepler Initiative. And beneath the location, the single, chilling word appeared: "Await." The emergency lights flickered back on, revealing the crew's stunned faces. Thorne stared at the final word: "Await." What were they waiting for? And what was hidden beyond that point in space? The answers, he suspected, were far more dangerous than anything they had encountered so far. The Kepler Initiative was more than just a colonization effort. It was a gateway to something ancient and terrifying, and they had just been invited to witness its return.